to be able to stay out front and be able to have that clear windshield. Well, mostly clear windshield. But yeah, the lineup is set. It does look like your pole sitter for the LMP2 is Craig Jancic, and your pole sitter for the GT3 is going to be Jason Phillips. And I know Carl will go through the points there as the rest of the starting grid is being flashed up on the screen for y'all.
Yeah, now that we got the audio up and working here for everybody to hear, when we talk about the points, Bryce Reiner leads the Pro Class and the LMP2s heading into tonight by 22 points only over Noah Bourgeois, and then a about 60-point lead over Dace Keeling. Craig Jancic there in fourth, and Devin Young in fifth. In the AM class, it is Javi Sierra again with a massive lead, 310 points over Jim Dutton in second. Renan Dilemma, William Burrell, Paul Smith for your top five. In the GT3 Pro Class, it is Chris Hamilton leading by a mere 16 points over Ricky Renner, Jesse Mosley, Jason Phillips, Christian Ortiz-Torres in the top five, with I'm sure Mosley and Phillips on the front row looking to scratch some points back here tonight. And then in the AM class, it is Cesar Colon-Torres leading by 322.5 points over Brandon Powell. Cameron Burke, Ian Southern, Chris Hayes, your top five heading into tonight's race. But tonight, Jimmy, I feel like tonight is going to be 110, 180% just survive. Make it through here. If you can keep that car on the track the entire night, you're probably looking at minimum a top five in your class.
Yeah, like I said, it's probably easier just to take your time, race your own race. Don't worry about where anybody else might be, and be able to come out on top and just try to just kind of get as best points as you can here possible, especially at this point of the season. It's their second rain race here, and we've seen even the GT3s finishing in the top 10 overall. And we got a nice size field out here as well. Here at we got 41 cars, so not quite hitting the 51 mark, but it does look like 37 cars are out on the track, and maybe a few starting out in the pits. I don't know.
Yeah,
but we got a.
I was going to say, it looks like Eric Martin, waiting. John Nobinger in the pits waiting to come out onto the track. And with how slow it's going to be once they take the green flag, I mean, there's a good chance that they can rejoin and really just be right at the back of the pack and be just as good as taking the EVO to start. Jason Potts, Rob Egel, not sure if they're going to be taking the green flag here or not, but we're rolling through the final set of corners here. I don't know if we need to re-nickname Canada Corner to Amazon Corner here tonight, because it is raining like we're in the rainforest here. But the pace car lights are out. Going to be pulling in to the pits this time by the LMP2s. We'll get the green flag first. You see on the track map the GT3s hanging back, waiting for their turn to take the green flag. But as the field heads up the front stretch, it's going to be in control here by Jancic and Reiner, as they're already on the loud pedal. We're racing here at Road America. Looked like a bit of an early start there. Not sure. I mean, we didn't see the green flag waving, but certainly it was go time here for the 87 and 97, and both of them already now out in front of Noah Bourgeois heading into one. It's going to be Jancic leading the way. We'll take a look here at the GT3s just getting queued up, heading to the start zone for them as well up the hill. And Jason Phillips already on the loud pedal as GT3s are rumbling off towards turn number one.
Yeah, it's obviously Jason Phillips got out there a little bit, and they're kind of falling more in a staggered line. And you could see obviously Jesse Mosley in the wake of Jason Phillips, and obviously needed, but somebody's already around. I think that was a LMP2.
Look, I don't see anything popping up.
Somebody parked in turn one
on SDK. Oh, it looks like maybe Siviani. We'll take a look and see here. And yep, getting some help there as almost 3 wide there in the 6 of Dace Keeling just drifts out and collects the 08. And that's a problem right there, Jimmy. In the rain, you get out here in the kitty litter, you can get stuck. And that looks like exactly what's happening here to Siviani Madrigal. And I believe, did he finally get that thing out and get going? Yeah, It looks like he did, but I believe it was after all the GT3s also passed him. You see him still trying to work it, still getting going. These are not designed for the they're designed for the tarmac. They're not designed for the kitty litter out here. But it looks like we got a couple more issues here. This is Frank Bassano, and it's right behind the 14. Gotta watch out for those 14s, Jimmy. Rob Angus going around right in front of him.
Buggers.
And Frank Bassano just takes it off the road here briefly and gets it back on the track. But looks like both him and Angus back out there and racing. We'll get you back live and show you the leader here of Jason Phillips out front. But before we do that, we'll go ahead and take a look on board for some of these cars. And this is a look from Jim Dutton's LMP2 on the start of this thing, and you can see right what I was talking about. A little bit of a white out here. You can't barely make out the cars in front, making some passes, and then you see diving out of the inside. You really just need to go where the lights aren't to get ready to get into the corners. And then we'll take you now down into we'll hop on board here with Chris Hayes, as he was backed off of the field here a little bit before they got going, and actually he's backed up a little too far. We'll get you up in the mix of things here with Michael Schwartz, and you see not much better, if better at all, in the GT3s. They're going a little bit slower than LMP2, so maybe kicking up a little bit less roost, but it's not easy to see at all.
It can be nerve-wracking, and they're out here for 45 minutes. It's not like this is going away. Rain's coming down, wipers are going, the mist is flying, no brakes in any sort of track even thinking about getting dry. They have to worry about the kitty litter, they have to worry about the paint, they have to worry about puddles on the inside of corners. There's many different things that they have to go through tonight in order to survive. And I think overall, to be honest, I know we've had a few small instances with some drivers driving off track, and and it's actually, all in all, I think they're doing all right here so far. So, but right now it's for the GT3s that I'm kind of keeping an eye on. Jason Phillips out in the lead over Jesse Mosley and Ricky Renner. Let's see, it does look like Michael Pennant went off the track and got back on the track. So I continue drivers maybe overshooting corners or just locking it up, trying to get used to that braking. And speaking of baking, I'm hungry. Speaking of braking, the LMP2s, they don't have the ABS that the GT3s have. So maybe we can explain to the crowd out there what the difference is.
Yeah, it's not just the ABS that you need here, but you need the traction control as well. Obviously, the ABS, if you get on the brakes a little bit too much and lock it up, it'll basically just kind of pulsate the brakes for you and try and help you slow the car down without staying flat on the brake pedal. And it's basically the exact same the other way when it comes to the traction control, and that's what a lot of these drivers beg for when it comes to these rain conditions, because obviously getting the power down is not easy. So if you get the power down and it starts to slip, traction control kicks in just like ABS does, and it kind of essentially throttles the car down a little bit, pulsates it a little bit to help you get the power down to leave those corners. So you need all the tools and the weapons that you can get here tonight in a wet weather race here. And we'll try and bring up the weather here, and we'll show you that's the weather there. I'll see if I can find the radar and pop that up on the screen to show you how bad it is. But it's not good, not getting any better for the rest of this race. But either way, good sized field out here. As Jimmy mentioned, looks like we will have 39 that took the green. But I did see one thing, Jimmy. I seen Chris Hamilton coming to the pits on lap number 1. I don't think that was from damage. I think that was a staged early pit stop here to maybe get him out in some clean air. You see that 64 kind of all by himself at the back of this field right now.
Yeah, it's not a bad move, and probably didn't even have to take much fuel, to be honest, Carl. I mean, they're going slower, and if they're modulating their throttle like I was out there, you're gonna save a lot of fuel. So, and the time's longer, so you might even do the same amount of laps, but and be out there longer. And 45 minutes is 45 minutes, whether you do 10 laps or 100. It's all the same. So it's just how well is he gonna use that, maybe to his benefit, to keep things going here tonight.
Trying to look back to see what happened to Craig Jansen, because I see that he's fallen back through the field here a little bit and might have pinpointed at least where he came back on the track, but not seeing exactly where he went off. So we'll keep trying to take a look at that, but he's definitely fallen back through the field. There we go. Might have found it here, and this is heading into to Amazon corner, and that locked it up. Gets into the wall. Doesn't look like too much damage, if any, on the front end of that number 97. But you see, again, just like Simeone Madrigal, stuck in the kitty litter and took him forever to get that thing out of there. It looks like he's not moving. He is moving. He's trying to get those tires to work and light up and dig through that gravel, and finally gets it back going, but falls all the way back to 17th after being up front of this field. So right now it is Bryce Reiner leading this field by about a second over Noah Bourgeois. Kyle Kobler, Dace Keeling for your top 4. Paul Smith leading in the AM class over Javi Sierra by 3 seconds, and trying to finally take down Javi. Javi's been on a heck of a roll this season and racking up AM class win after win after win. So we'll see if Smith has what it takes to get him done today. Glenn Lazan, Bill Burrell, your top 4 in the AM class. Down in the GT3s, it is still Jason Phillips leading now over Jesse Mosley by 2.5 seconds. Ricky Renner and Michael Schwartz, your top 4 in the AM class. It is, if I can find him, there it is. It is Todd Torville leading the way over Jay Little by 3.5 seconds. Stephen Price and Ian Wilson, your top 4 for the AM class, as you see some battling going into Canada corner, side by side here, as the 12 making his, or not the 12, that's 12th place, making way around there. But you can get to racing here, Jimmy, and I was gonna say, you know, what's your over under for the entire race on drivers passing each other within their class here tonight on sheer speed and on sheer talent, as opposed to having to just sit back there and wait until they make a mistake?
Probably 90% wait for somebody to make a mistake, to be honest. And speaking of making mistakes, I did see the 64 of Christopher Hamilton flash up on the screens, and him wrecking, whether it was a slide through a corner or slapping a wall. I didn't get a chance to check it yet, but definitely problems with the 64 here in the rain, and no problems here for Jason Phillips and Jesse Mosley at the moment. So we've seen Ricky Renner dominate last rain race, and is sitting back there in 3rd for the GT3s. So GT3 is doing a pretty good job up front again, but missing their counterpart, the number 64.
Yeah, seeing that slide right there, heading into the left-hander right before Speedville. So a little slide, kept it on the track the entire time, but just kind of locked it up a little bit. And it's tough when it's raining like this, Jimmy. Like it's one thing when it's, you know, kind of an easier rain. You can kind of pick out where the puddles are. You can try and figure out, okay, there's a puddle here. You got to drive on this part of the track. You know, usually when it comes to the corners, you're trying to stay more towards the outside of the corners, so there's less puddling than there is on the inside. When the track is just you know, a deluge like it is here tonight, there's puddles everywhere. I mean, you're just kind of trying to race hard, trying to tiptoe, trying to, you know, be ready to snap correct it when that car wants to snap you loose. It's treacherous.
On board here with Jason Phillips. I just seen another LMP2 beached up there in Canada at the, I will call it Amazon corner, like you said, here tonight. So you know, continuously trapping people there tonight. Must be beer time with some Molson Ice or something.
I'd rather have that, I think, here tonight than being out there in a car.
But yeah, I would do Jason Phillips out front still with the GT3s, and I think it's going to be a tough one to catch. He's been watching his lines and taking it nice and easy, not forcing anything. Nice smooth braking and pretty good lines, keeping it off of the insides of the apexes, which is, even though the track is all wet, is usually where the bigger puddles are for most of these tracks. And you know, if you haven't and you're out there and you're getting ready for a rain race, I talked about how I practice on a dry track, running those multiple lines. Well, here it comes into play where you already got half of it figured out. You just need to figure out the speed and to see if the wet tires that iRacing provides has enough grip to turn that car at that speed. So, but doing a good job here with the number 55 of Jason Phillips to keep this lead. Looking back to the back of the pack, though, does look like Craig Jancic, he did stop at the pits there to maybe fix repairs or just top off on fuel or whatever. So sitting back in 25th overall and 16th in the, I think, he's down 16th. He's 17th for the LMP2s.
Another incident here with Ian Wilson, and looks like he's going to have to tow it back into the pits. And the man we've talked to several times with the Hard Charger Award here, he was actually starting to make his way through the field, but unfortunately not going to be a good finish here for him tonight. I don't think. I mean, it's still plenty early. Never know how many cars wreck out here tonight, but do see quite a bit of Fords out there leading the way in the GT3s. A lot of McLarens out there as well. Jimmy, and I know it's a lot of times a talking point, you know, which one is the best out there. Tonight, are you thinking bass boat? Are you thinking pontoon, canoe? I mean, I know that that new Ferrari 296 inner tube is looking pretty good out here too.
I mean, I guess it just depends on which one comes with the goggles and the snorkel, Carl. I mean, that's the one I would prefer here tonight. Just definitely swimming your way around here, and you want to go so fast at this track. Like I said, you're used to dry track. You know, these drivers are doing, 2-minute laps. 203, 202, somewhere in that range. And here tonight, looking, this is for the GT3s, and they're doing like 230s. 229 there by Devin. Well, that's Devin Young back on the LMP2, but even the LMP2s are still over 2 minutes at like 225. So definitely a lot of speed loss here with just a little, well, not a little bit of rain, a lot of rain.
Taking a look at some of the biggest movers of the race. There's so many greens and oranges from drivers going up and down the order here. It's kind of amazing. It looks like the biggest mover of the race right now, Greg Conway, in 25th right now, up 16 spots after starting back there in 31st position. Bunch of drivers that were at the front now towards the back. Len Lizan started up there in 13th. He's down 22 positions down in 35th position. Looks like he may be done for the night. Yeah, he's got a meatball flag, or at least having a tow back to pit lane. Frank Pisano looks like he is done for the night. He dropped out 25 spots after starting up there in 12th. Stephen Pless, another one already done for the night. Jim Dutton, another one done for the night. There's a lot of casualties here early. We still got 34 drivers out there trying to make their way around this track. Bryce Reiner leads the way, still by only 1 second though.
Yeah, no, obviously you're talking about how, that 16 spots gained for Greg Conway, that's overall. But in class, Carl, to be honest, Tyler Torville has the most classes gained, or most positions gained in class. He's up 13 spots. He's in the P number 7 at the moment, right behind Javi Sierra, maybe trying to track him down. He's got a little ways to go, obviously, but definitely doing a fantastic job, taking advantage of some other drivers having some issues, and that's why a lot of these GT3s, you see them up there now in the top 15 at the moment. And there's definitely plenty of LMP2s. I think I've had some troubles here tonight. Obviously, trying to push it a little harder. They got more downforce, and you're trying to trust it. But again, the difference in the traction control and they got traction control, but the ABS ain't getting around here tonight, and they're not like they don't have a lot of like punch, I guess, when you get on the gas to like go in the first place, and their like passing speed for these GT3s is really kind of in the upper 5th gear range, or the ability to outbrake them into a corner. So put the rain on the track, and a lot of that goes away. So it's really a tiptoe dance here for the LMP2. So I'm not surprised to see a few of them have some issues trying to push it, and used to being able to stick that thing wherever they want. Now, GT3s, obviously, we know they're a little bit slower, and but here tonight, Carl, like I said, I was out there in the Mustang, and boy, it just felt like I had a set of ice skates on, and it took me about 4 or 5 laps in order to even kind of figure out where I should be letting off and applying my brakes, and how fast I can go into a corner and at least get a decent time. I was running right around the 233 area, and it felt like sketch. Like I thought maybe I could get a little bit more, but I don't know how. And anybody running faster than that, I'm impressed, and I applaud you, because it's definitely a challenge out here tonight in the rain. And Kyle Kobler just getting into an incident right there as well.
I want to thank everyone out there for tuning in tonight. Hopefully you're staying nice and dry at home as well, enjoying the race here tonight. Not so much for the dry. Well, I guess they're dry too. It's not like it's open cockpit, as long as they don't have the windows down at all on these LMP2s. The GT3s, I'm pretty sure they got windows. I don't think they drive with. There's no cars that I know of that have a window net, so it should all be nice and dry inside the cars there as well. But they certainly, I'm sure, wanting to get done and dusted with this as soon as possible. Hopefully, get themselves an interview here as well. But you see, hopping on board here again with Tyler Torville, just how little you can see, even with no cars in front. I mean, or a car decently in front with Javi Sierra up there ahead of him by a little over a second. You can still already see the spray causing the effect on the visibility, and it's not fun at all. But it's again, great turnout for the field here. Just under 40 drivers taking the green here tonight, as you see in the
Tyler goes for a ride, keeps it off the wall.
Well, there's Todd Torville and Tyler Torville kind of both at the same time right there, as Tyler out of turn number 1. We'll take a look back and see what happened to Todd Torville. This is a little bit too much puddle heading into to turn, I believe it's turn number 7 there, before Speedville goes off into the kitty litter. See the GT3s, if there's anything that they have a benefit on, it's they get through the kitty litter a little bit better than the LMP2s. They don't just spin the tires as much, and see Todd tiptoeing his way through the kitty litter to get back on the track. But certainly not for a lack of issues here tonight, as you see right on cue. Michael Penix going through, at least through the gravel, into the grass. The grass has got to feel like just a good sticky tire compared to the gravel out here tonight. You cannot get through the gravel. The grass, you can drive through it. It's okay. It's drivable. You don't want to take the car out there on purpose, but if you got to get out of the gravel and get onto the grass, it feels a lot better.
Yeah, which is weird. But at least they're able to kind of get through there, and it's kind of it's interesting how the difference of the surfaces react to the tires, and it always definitely would make sense with the rock being wet, and I remember trying to ride bicycles and down through the gravel yard when I was a kid, and it was always a little bit tougher, so you can only imagine a race car with barely any traction as it is, and it's all wet. So and they're super low, so I mean, it's what makes these a little bit harder for these LMP2s to get out from there in a gravel. Might not get into the wall because of it, but here in iRacing, I think they'd rather get into it than know it's kind of embarrassing to be beached here at Road America.
Right now, board there with Noah Bourgeois heading into turn number 1 as he was closing in on Bryce Reiner. It was only about 0.6 of a second heading into turn number 1. How he could see where to brake at all, I mean, it had to just be muscle memory. It had to be a feel for when you had to brake, because there was nothing you could see out the windshield, or maybe you could see better out that the third screen if he's got triples, and maybe looking to the left and generally figuring out where he's got to brake, because he could not see anything out in front of him. He couldn't even see the brake lights of when Reiner was on the brakes. And speaking of Reiner, seeing him blinking out quite a bit there, and I'd check and see if that was on my side. It's not on my side. We may have lost Bryce Reiner here from the lead.
Oh no!
As I'm not seeing no. I'm not seeing him back on the track at all. But now,
not back.
I don't see Noah Bourgeois now either. Am I missing something here? Is it? Okay, there we go. So I got Day Skeeling. I got Noah Bourgeois. Bryce Reiner, not so much. It looks like he has got a meatball flag. I'm guessing that might be a connectivity meatball that is going to send him to the pits, and that is a killer. Being out there in the lead, and now he's going to be sent to pit lane until he cleans the internet up here. But that's going to give the lead to Noah Bourgeois. Right, Dace Keeling now up into second. Paul Smith not only leading in the AM class, he's now third overall.
And good run there by Paul. You know, being able to get up there, and if you're right on board with him, you can see he's following some taillights. They got a little blinking red light in the middle, and some McLaren taillights, able to kind of see through that fog. And at least now, Carl, I can say that iRacing did a good job kind of modifying that spray, especially when the cars slow down.
Oh, that was a moment there. That was a moment there. Hold your breath, folks. Woo, I just got back to him right on time there, because taking a look at Todd Torville as he spun again in turn number 7. And it's going to end up getting in to the GT3 there, and spins out, I believe it was Greg Conway. Yeah, Greg Conway there.
Yeah.
And just tough to see, trying to work around here. But now on the front stretch, look who is now in third. The man that's been dominating the M class this season. Javi Sierra takes advantage of the issues that Paul Smith had, and it goes to third. Paul Smith tries to get him back, and that's not the way to get him back right there, as he loses in turn number 1. Rob Angus going to get through there into fourth. Angus still in the rookie class here for CSRL, but looking pretty good here in this race, as we got the top 2 right now are pro class. Then you got AM class, rookie, AM class for your top 5.
Tyler just continuing to have problems going off again. That's Paul Smith, excuse me. Paul Smith goes off the track for a second time, so falling back just a few spots here. So after talking about him, Carl, he's falling back. Is the curse coming out here along with the rain?
Yep, we apologize there to Paul Smith for the broadcaster's curse, as we'll take a look and see what happened here to Jason Wahlberg, as he went for a little bit of a miss here in Amazon corner, but that was a lot better than we've seen a lot of drivers out here tonight. He was able to get it wound up enough to keep it for the most part on the track. A little spin sideways and gets it back going here. I mean, this is borderline, to the point where you would think about a red flag in real life. Like, this is really, really bad, treacherous conditions for actual drivers out there. But virtually, now you got to have the cojones to just get out there, suck it up, Buttercup, and see what you can do.
Yeah, I mean, it is drivable. It's just sometimes because you just got to be so cautious. So I guess maybe what you can relate it to, because is maybe think about driving a NASCAR around here, like an old 87 or something, where you got to take your time, set the car, ease the throttle, so you don't get spun, so you don't spin yourself out. It's kind of what the GT3 cars are having to do. They're, they can't go as fast into the corner. They can't use the downforce that they typically have. So they're just out here with speed and chance and a little bit of luck. Hopefully they can get around here. But we're getting some drivers that are definitely using that lady luck here. John Nobinger headed towards the pits here. He did start out of the pits, but coming in here in the pits partially through. I seen him off the tractor and the kitty litter a little bit, so maybe coming in to get a little bit of fuel to finish this thing up as we're starting to get a portion through this race.
I want to thank everyone out there for tuning in here tonight to the first of our double headers here on Wednesday. If you haven't done so yet, hit that like and subscribe, get you in touch with everything that CRN has to offer. As before we do that, I think we lost our second place driver here. This is Dace Keeling. Heavy impact out of turn number 1. Rips the whole back end of the car off. Looks like some pieces came back on there, but you see how much he is crabbing down these straightaways. If he decides to try and drive that all the way back, I mean, good on him. That is going to be a really, really tough job to do that.
But hard to do dry.
It looks like most of the pieces snap back on somehow, but he is going to have a long grab walk back to the pits as he was running up there in second. What is going on with the front of our field here tonight, Jimmy? See Javi Sierra slip back here a little bit as well. I don't see that he had a moment that he slid back here, but he's now back behind Tyler Torville and Rob Angus is back there in 5th position. But man, it's showing its ugly head here for sure at Road America. I well know about cars wrecking with the 6 hour that myself and Dave Topher did this past weekend, and so close to a top finish and maybe even a win overall until 2 laps to go, and a lap car gets taken out in front of us. And well, as the end of the story, but Dave was able to grab walk that thing back. Luckily, it was only from the kink all the way back, and Dace is gonna have to limp that thing back all the way from turn number 2. Oof, that's a long drive, but we're seeing drivers left and right jumping into the pits from issues. We've seen Todd Torville maybe calling it a night. Looks like Michael Schwartz just had an incident himself.
He's doing a pretty dang good job, to be honest.
And beached.
Look, I'm watching Dace Keeling pretty much, dirt track this thing all the way around the track. Is crab walking. I think some of the corners maybe helps him out, but definitely looking to get in the pits to get that fast repair, maybe make up some time, trying to be able, maybe take advantage of Craig Jancic having some bad luck getting stuck in the kitty litter, maybe Ricky Renner and the internet connection, maybe trying to get some of the points back. But Noah Bourgeois seems solid right at the moment, just nice and steady out there in front of, got a huge lead over Rob Angus. So Rob Angus moves to P number 2. Javi Sierra back there in 3rd, and Tyler Torville still hanging there, even with the couple mistakes he's had, up 16 spots in class in the P number 4.
Yeah, great job there for Tyler as we see the drive back worked out for Dace Keeling, gets it back to the pits. Can't say the same for our new leader. That is Noah Bourgeois, stuck in the kitty litter, trying to get it back onto the track. Looks like he's just finally going to be able to. Had a pretty massive lead over everyone else in the field. So even after that right there, he's going to be able to get it back on the track and get this thing back going. But you got to wonder, once he makes the pit stop here that he's going to have to make, where will that fit him out into the field? Is it going to be behind Kyle Kobler, who's already made a pit stop there in 7th position? We're going to find out here, but it's the front of the field, back of the field. Doesn't matter where you are here, Jimmy. You got to pay attention every single lap here, and this 45-minute race could feel like about a 4-hour race.
It's a lot. I think last time I ran a rain race was at the 12 hours of not Nürburgring.
I think we had a little bit of rain in the 24 hours of Spa.
Bathurst, the 12-hour Bathurst.
Yep.
Was I think the biggest one that we had, and we were in a stint and then out. Like we just took turns running in the rain, and it never let up. And then when it did let up, we had a driver that wasn't so comfortable with the rain, so we made sure that he got as much track time as possible. And he was faster in the dry than we were anyway, so it's kind of worked out where we kind of knew the rain in the track and how those cars handled at Bathurst. But to kind of let somebody we worked the team to our strength and had a pretty decent finish, so wasn't too bad. I enjoyed that race as much as or as bad as the monsoon at Bathurst up and over the hill is. But here tonight, we're at Road America. We're seeing troubles from all sorts of levels of drivers, and I guess it's one of the reasons I kind of like the rain, and why some drivers do like the rain. Carl, it's a huge equalizer.
And why some hate it.
Yeah, Dace Keeling was able to crab walk his way around and get back out there, and he's still in 10th place overall for the LMP2s. So I mean, he has time to kind of catch back up a little bit, and maybe get maybe he can work his way back up in the top 5 if he can find the speed and grip out there for that car. And like I said, take advantage of Craig Jancic falling back early and unfortunately, Ricky Renner falling out for internet connections. So might be the night that he needed, but no, Bourgeois definitely trying to take advantage. But we even seen him have some troubles. So it's a tough one out there here tonight at Road America.
Yeah, a lot of drivers still at the front need to come into the pits. And in fact, looking at 7 of the top 8 of the top 10 that need to come into the pits to make their pit stop here tonight. But you look at, again, you wonder, like, why would Dace Keeling stay out there? Why would he try and grab that thing all the way around the track? Like Jimmy said, he's in 11th place overall, but again, a lot of the drivers in front of him still need to come into the pits. He's going to pick off, I'm sure, a few positions that way. But you look at one of his, close competitors in the points, Craig Jancic, had that issue early on in the race, has been trying to fight back ever since. The sun's starting to try and peek out here a little bit. Still raining out there on the track. But Jancic back there in 14th. He is 26 seconds behind Dace Keeling because the incident where he just got stuck in the kitty litter. He's had some other incidents along the way as well. He's seen riding with him here, working his way around some of the lap traffic. Getting caught off track here again, so it is not an easy one here for our top drivers. I think all of our top drivers in the LMP2 Pro points have been off at least once here tonight. I have not talked too much about Devin Young. Started back in 18th, or actually 19th position overall. He's up 2 spots here tonight. It's just not been a fun one here, I don't think, for the 15, just like it is for a lot of these LMP2 drivers. Seeing more probably LMP2s going off than GT3s, but I don't know, maybe we're just happen to notice them a little bit more. But it's tough no matter what you're in out there. I think if you're walking out there on the track, you're probably getting off track somehow.
Yeah, just back, I was checking on Chris Hamilton as he was one of the drivers that kind of pit really early, kind of put himself in a spot where nobody was around, and then had some incidents, but just kind of off track, so getting stuck in the litter a little bit, and just had another one, but still sitting in that top 6. And I don't know if there's anybody out there in the GT3s that still needs to pit, but still trying to make the best out of what he can here in the GT3s. Being up there in the points. Trying to kind of limit the bleeding as far as points go, but still working the track here in a McLaren. But it does look like your overall leader in the GT3s now is Ricky Renner again, as he's made his way to the front around Jason Phillips. And then in third is Francois Clement, and then Jesse Mosley, and then Will Brennan, and then Chris Hamilton.
I want to thank our series sponsors here, Velocity, Aerostar Racing, 40 Racewear. I want to thank Chris Burrell for the Hard Charger Sandbagger Award as usual. As tonight going to be a tough one, trying to figure out who is going to get this thing done. For a moment there, it was Francois Clement, but now in the pits to make their pit stop. As looks like right now it's maybe Ricky Renner. I know you mentioned he had some connection issues. It looks like it's connected pretty fine right now, as he is up there in 11th place overall, but yet to make his pit stop. So he is top of the boards right now in the Pro class, but he's got to come in, make his stop, and we'll see most likely Jason Phillips filter back out to the lead as he's been running a great race. Jesse Mosley in third currently. Chris Hamilton, though, fourth in the Pro class at the moment, and should be moving up the boards here a little bit more. But now your top 2 in the LMP2s. No Bourgeois, Rob Angus into pit lane to make their pit stop. We still get to see Javi Sierra, Michael Pennant, and Siviani Madrigal from the top make their pit stops.
Ricky Renner up 16 spots overall, but only 2 in class, where Tyler Topil is up 13 spots in class. So I don't know how they would want to work that. Obviously the LMP2s having issues falling back to the field, and the GT3's got to, obviously get around the LMP2s for those positions. But within the class, they're a little bit lighter of the numbers there. And even Javi Sierra right now, your current LMP2 leader, as obviously people making stops, I guess. But no, Bourgeois did come into the pits.
Yeah, I'm really actually kind of surprised. I know Ricky Renner right now is up there in the top 10 overall. Actually, just out of it right now as Dave Skilling makes the pass on in 11th. I'm surprised that there's not more GT3s at the front. You know, just being able to maybe tiptoe a little bit better than these LMP2s and seeing so many of them sliding off the track. But I'm guessing these long straightaways here allow the LMP2s to maybe get a little bit more gumption to pull away from the GT3s here tonight, because we've had some races this season where there's been 2, 3, 4 GT3s mixing up inside the top 10 overall. But here tonight, looks like the LMP2s showing their muscle a little bit at least. We'll see how it all plays out. Looks like we're left with 2 drivers right now. Javi Sierra, your overall leader currently, and then Devin Young, both yet to come in to the pits to make their one and only pit stop. As we're cruising right along here. We went way past the halfway point. We're not going to do a love to hear it here tonight, because all you're going to hear is just the rain dropping down anyway. But I don't know, Jimmy. Maybe the rain has actually subsided now. I think it may have stopped raining. It's not going to drop this track at all. And the track, you see it right there with the sun shining. It looks like just a sheet of glass. That's pretty much what it feels like it's driving to.
Yeah, and now they're wanting to keep them tires warm as possible. They're not out there searching for puddles. We won't see it here today. Obviously, with just only a few minutes left, under 10 minutes. But the transition, for track, when it does stop raining and it does start drying up, you start thinking about, all right, when do I come in and get dry tires? And the drivers are, kind of going off based, what they see. And then if you take a set of wet tires and you run on a dry track, you can see how fast you can get on them. So that'll give you kind of a good indication when you could kind of switch to slicks to get faster than what you're doing. But if you're out there and you got a couple laps left, during an endurance race, and you need to stop, you might be out there with the track mostly dry, and you might find yourself end up actually searching for water puddles to keep them tires cool and not get too hot and greasy and really start sliding around on you. And we did that at Sebring. We were out there trying to finish up some laps, and really was out there really hunting down the water to keep the tires in shape for just a few more laps before we could bring the car in to change them out. But yeah, right now Javi Sierra out in the lead over Kyle Kobler, and No Bourgeois is back in third, so he'll have to work his way back up and wait for Javi and Kyle to do their thing and maybe be able to resume the lead again. But back in the GT3s, it's going to be Jason Phillips, Jesse Mosley, Ricky Renner, and then Willie Brennan, Francois Clement, and Christopher Hamilton for your top 6 over there.
Well, I got a question here, Jimmy, because we talked about Paul Smith leading in the AM class here earlier on tonight, and Javi Sierra kind of stuck back there, and we seen him win over and over again here this season in the AM class, and kind of wondering, was this going to be Paul Smith's chance to finally beat Javi Sierra and take an AM class win? Are we looking at maybe Javi Sierra taking an overall win by running this thing all the way to the end without making a pit stop? Because right now, as it stands, time is ticking away. We're down to 5 minutes left in this race. We're looking at maybe 2 more laps, maybe 3 more laps. Can he stretch this thing out all the way to the end? I mean, maybe that's why he was kind of holding back there and just kind of chilling out, saving some fuel. You mentioned how much in the rain you can just kind of be off the gas and cruising through a lot of these corners. We'll see if he comes in this time by. If not, I mean, probably looking at maybe 2 more laps to go, maybe 3, depending on how this thing plays out. But of course, just the rain on my parade, no pun intended. Here comes Javi Sierra into the pits.
Yeah, just kind of probably going to come in for a splash, Carl. I wouldn't bother with tires or nothing. Just get yourself a splash and come out here and hopefully be able to get back there. But it does look like Kyle Kobler is going to go ahead and be able to assume the lead here over the field, with Double Bourgeois going to get by Javi. Rob Angus is going to get by Javi as well. Move Rob back up in third, and then Michael Pennant Jr. coming up in here as well. And so there's been a bunch of drivers in here. I know we're trying to give you the action on the track. As far as battles, there's really not much going on. You do have Tyler Torville kind of wrapped up into something. Trent Blaylock, fairly close to somebody, and Jason Phillips. I don't know if he's closing in or Jesse
No, that was
Mosley is closing
Herbert
in the back
Pineda that just
end.
made a pass on him, so I wasn't
Okay,
even
there we go.
in class.
Yeah.
But yeah, yeah. As it stands, Kyle Colbert's got a sizable lead over Noah Bourgeois. That's what we talked about. You know, Noah had a big lead on the field when he had that incident there in turn number 7 and got stuck in the kitty litter. I think it was in turn number 7, but either way, stuck in the kitty litter for a while. And where was that going to play out once he made his pit stop? Well, you see it now. That pit stop has put him 8 seconds behind Kyle Kobler, and with only a few laps left in his race, if Kyle Kobler can keep this thing on the track, avoid any kind of incidents, he could be looking at his first overall pro win here for the season, and really kind of shock some of these top pro drivers, as you know, clearly issues tonight from just about every one of them. I mean, Bryce Reiner, seen the issues for him. Noah Bourgeois, obviously we just talked about his issues. Dave Skeeling, we see him rip off the entire back of his car, made a heck of a drive all the way around the track, crabbing that thing to get it to the front, or get it back to the pits. Greg Jancic, several issues here tonight. Devin Young, another one who's just, you know, kind of couldn't get through the field here tonight. Just about every one of them had some issues here tonight. Even going further back, we haven't really talked about Herbert Pineda at all here tonight. Trent Blaylock, Tyler Torville obviously had his issues. And then you get to 9th place in the points, Kyle Kobler. And he's looking like he maybe, for the time being, has this thing bingoed tonight.
Or he's hoping, I'm sure. Probably doesn't know how he got up there. It's a lot of talent on the track, and you can tell by watching the screen. You can start seeing some light gray kind of starting to break through, and this is kind of an area, one of the transitions for the track with rain. So obviously you got the pouring down where the whole thing is wet. Now you got the track's wet, but you're starting to see like areas that the cars are going over, and the puddles are more pronounced. So obviously you're trying to stay in the lighter gray and away from them puddles. But it does look like Barney waving a flag up there as I was looked over at your screen. So are they on the white flag?
Take a look here, try and see if I can find somebody that's coming around the final corners here. There we go. We'll look at Siviani Madrigal. We'll hop on board with Siviani coming out of the final corner. Actually, we'll go on board with Paul Smith so we don't have the spray from Paul Smith, and see if this is indeed the white flag. It probably is, as sure enough, yeah, that is the white flag being waved there from Barney. So we are on the last lap here as Kyle Kobler working his way down into, see where he's at, down out of turn number 6, heading down to turn number 7. 7-second lead. Noah Bourgeois just turned the fastest lap of the race with a 20.60. For the last lap for Kobler, a 20.78. So only 18 1800ths of a second slower than Bourgeois. It's not going to be enough for Bourgeois to catch up here on the final lap. As long as Kobler keeps this thing on the track through Speedville, he does just that. Headed now down into the kink for one final time, and you see that track. Surprisingly, Jimmy, the track seems like it's drying up a heck of a lot quicker than I would expect. For all the rain that was dumped down, there's definitely some dry spots out there, and you see Kobler kind of searching around to actually get some wetness on the tires, going the exact opposite way. We want to kind of keep those tires nice and cool, going through Amazon corner for the final time here tonight. Heading up through the final couple S's. He's got some lap traffic in front of him, but I'm sure he can just kind of back out of it here, let those lap cars do what they want to do here, as you see a battle right in front of him with Chris Hamilton and Francois Clement. But out of the final corner, it is going to be Kyle Kobler getting it done here tonight for his first win in the pro class, and maybe even make some passes here at the end. See if we can get Clement too. I'm sure Clement doesn't mind that at all. He's got that to battle Chris Hamilton for another lap. Chris probably not too happy about that, but Bourgeois now coming up, and he's going to come home in second place here tonight. Rob Angus right behind him, coming home in third for the rookies. Tyler Torville, after everything that he's been through here tonight, Jimmy, he's looking at a third place in the LMP2 Pro class. So a heck of a perseverance here tonight for Tyler Torville, as he will indeed come home in third. Javi Sierra is going to be your AM class winner. Yep, just coming up over the rise here. He'll win it here once again, and almost stretch this thing out to get the overall win, but he'll win it here. Paul Smith looks like he's going to come home in second. Bill Burrell in third for the LMP2 AMs. Looking over now at the GT3 Pro Class, it is Jason Phillips that, barring any kind of incidents here on this final lap, is 10 seconds ahead of Jesse Mosley. Just a masterclass here from Phillips tonight. A great job, great drive here, and we'll see his, I believe, his first win of the season in the GT3 Pro Class. Down in the AM class, it is already. Nope, that's the wrong one there. Was it Stephen Price? There we go. Stephen Price is going to be going through Speedville here one more time. He's got himself enough of a lead that he's the last one out there on the track in the AM class, and he'll be your winner here in the AM class. We'll get a chance to talk to him as well. Looks like biggest mover of the race is going to be Tyler Torville. You talked about it, Jimmy. He's did a fantastic job driving through the field here tonight. So he will get a top 3 in the pro class. He'll get himself an interview with the Hard Charger Sandbagger Award as well. But Jason Phillips now already done and dusted. And we'll see Stephen Price finish this thing out and close out our winners here tonight. But Jimmy, for the ones that won, and for the ones that are really still running here tonight, you survived. You survived the havoc here, the hurricane at Elkhart Lake.
Yeah, it's obviously challenging. I think they would have much rather a racetrack that was like what it is right now here at the end. Wet, but at least transitioning to dry, so you can you had a little bit of grip out there. When it's flooded like it was at the start of the race, and for the majority of this race, there's, like you said, you're just searching for everywhere and to find the, I guess, best spot for you to be able to get on the throttle, and then to see through the spray is one of the most challenging things that you can do in a sim. You're blinded, can't see nothing, doesn't look like your windshield wipers moving fast enough, and you're snapping your hands left and right trying to catch a car. You're trying to modulate a simulated throttle. It's all your hands are full. So I commend all the drivers, all drivers that came out here and participated tonight. So appreciate putting on a show for us, and we'll get out there and talk to these winners and see how it went for them as well.
Take a look at our race results here real quick for each of the classes and show you where everybody finished. Favorite drivers out there while we have a chance. Again, I want to thank our series sponsors, 40 Racewear, Velocity, and Aerostar Racing for everything that they do here for the series. And I don't know who sponsored the rain here tonight, but you got your money's worth for sure. And I'm sure these drivers will be.
Rain X.
Yeah, exactly. It's definitely need a faster setting for the wipers for sure going forward. It's a little rough out there, especially with the spray. But great job by all these drivers. We'll get them in here for their interviews, as looks like they're starting to file in, and we'll go ahead and start bringing them up. So, Jimmy, why don't you go ahead and start with our overall GT3 winner in the GT3 Pro Division, and that's going to be the driver of the 55, Jason Phillips.
Hey, Jason, Jimmy and Carl, Booth Cappy.
Yes, sir. I got you.
It's always a pleasure to get a chance to talk to you up here. And tonight being a very difficult one here at Road America, the rain, I think Hurricane Bertha or somebody was up here tonight for y'all as this thing started. And you did a fantastic job keeping this thing together and, bringing it to the end as the overall winner here. So first of all, congratulations for surviving, but give us a little rundown on how it really was out there and how difficult it was with the multi-class, obviously going by and adding a little bit of extra spray in your face.
Oh man, the spray's rough. That was a tough race. I never would have expected to win a rain race for sure. That's not my strong suit, but it was just kind of hit your marks and just try not to. Anxiety was real bad at first. Just I don't know. That was fun, but
I guess the question is, when you're in the spray and you're coming up on a corner, what are you doing as a driver to make sure that you're not over braking? Because I know how easy it is to lock it up and hit that mark to make the corner.
once you get in that spray, you just really got to rely on side markers or just spots on the track that is like within that area to where you brake. Because once it sprays there, you just can't see anything. So you just got to rely on like side stuff.
It's, I guess, a track familiarity thing, and I guess it helps that there was a special event in here. So I don't know if you partook in that. I know there wasn't any rain, but this one here, obviously, the up the difficulty level by about 100, and you did a fantastic job here tonight bringing this thing home. So we want to say congratulations, man. Recognize what you're doing out there, and give you some time for any shouts you might have in that number 55.
Well, thank you guys. Thank you for what y'all do. Thank you to Jim, Craig, all the admin for giving us this amazing community group of drivers. And I'm glad to be a part of it.
Really appreciate the shout outs, man. Again, congratulations. Make sure you go dry off and you can go celebrate with your friends and family.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
That is your GT3 Pro Class winner here tonight, the 55 of Jason Phillips. We'll keep it with the GT3s and switch it over to the GT3 AM Class winner, and we get a chance to talk to Stefan Price, driver of the number 98. Stefan, you finish up 12 spots here tonight, so you drove through the field mightily here tonight, but could you see that you were passing anybody here tonight, or were you just happy to just get this thing over with?
No, I couldn't tell I was passing anyone. I'm just trying to keep it on track.
Oh, it seemed like that was the toughest part here tonight, and if you went off track, you kind of wanted to be in the grass. I don't know if you had any kind of off track excursions, but I know the kitty litter was not exactly fun getting hung up here tonight.
Yeah, I bet. You know, I had in practice. I had a couple of off tracks in the grass, and yeah, it seemed to come right out of there. But I saw a lot of them sitting in the kitty litter. So yeah.
So talk to me about the race itself. I know obviously you're pretty much driving the track. You're not really worried about any other cars out there, but you obviously had to deal with the multi-class, and I'm sure the spray from them, along with the spray from the other cars out there, not exactly easy to see. Were you trying to just kind of run the lines that they weren't to see?
Yeah, some of that, and some of it you just, if they gap you enough, you can just kind of see the sides of the track and just try to keep it in the middle. And that's about it. Yeah, but the spray is really bad.
Well, you did enough here tonight to get yourself the AM Class victory. So congrats on the class win here tonight. Who do you want to give a shout out to or thanks to?
You guys, of course. You guys make it fun to listen to, and shout out to my buddy Jay Little. He didn't have a very good night today, but he's always helping me practice every week. So,
well,
that's about it, I guess.
All right, buddy. Well, congrats again on the class win here tonight. We'll let you go dry off, and we'll see you next week. Hopefully, nice dry conditions. We'll see what you can do.
All right. Thanks, guys.
That is your AM Class winner here in the GT3, Stefan Price, and the number 98. Top spot overall, Jimmy, is going to go to not Craig Jancic, not Noah Bourgeois, not Dace Keeling, not all the drivers that you think about. Kyle Kobler is making a statement here tonight with his first win.
Hey, Kyle, Jimmy Carl, the booth, you copy?
Hey, guys, how you doing?
Hey, pretty good. Everything kind of went your way here tonight as you're able to grab the overall win here with the LMP2s. I mean, what a drive out there. Obviously, the weather and whatnot, snagging most of your competitors, just hanging them up. But you were able to make your way through there to grab that win. So give us a little run on how your race was and how you kind of approached tonight with the torrential downpour.
Well, as my uncle says, a blind squirrel finds a nut every once in a while. So I found my nut tonight winning this race, and I haven't won in a while. So good to see you guys again. But yeah, I mean, I spun twice on, I think, lap 5 or 6, I think it was. And after that, I decided to pit to get up from behind Javi Sierra, and then I had so much clean track. I just got really lucky with it compared to Noah, getting with all the traffic of the GT3s. I think the undercut worked out pretty well, and not spinning would have helped, but it happens. So
yeah, I mean, we've seen a few drivers early on kind of come in the pit, maybe to get that undercut, and obviously you use that to your advantage, and obviously not having to battle anybody, you had some more clean windshield, I guess, here for the night, and definitely played out in your favor. So we wanted to recognize that, say congratulations, and give you some time for any shouts on your car.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. Yeah, just the FMR boys, and Noah and I have been practicing a little bit, so getting a little better, and then wife and kid as always. So thanks, guys.
Really appreciate the shouts again. Congratulations, and we'll let you go celebrate this one with your friends and family.
That is your overall winner here, and the winner in the LMP2 Pro Class, Kyle Kobler, and the number 19. For some reason, SDK just stopping on Stefan Price. Wanted to give Stefan Price some extra love there, but I promise you that is Kyle Kobler in the 19. Last but not least, we'll bring in our... Yep, there he is. Okay, we'll bring in our Hard Charger Sandbagger Award winner here tonight, and that's going to be the 22 of Tyler Torville. Tyler, clearly by your driving skills tonight and how well you did out there, that's clearly why you got the most passes here tonight. It wasn't for you getting off track, having any kind of issues. I mean, you were clean all night.
Yeah, I mean,
now
I had
not buying it.
I had a few little. Yeah, I knew tonight was going to be. During qualifying, I lost it on lap 1, and I was like, well, this is going to be a hit or miss kind of night for me. Let me just start from the back and see what happens. And it was quite entertaining trying to get through traffic and not being able to see anything. But it was fun.
Yeah, fun's one way to describe it. I can think of a few other choice words out there, but I'm happy that I was in the booth and I don't have to throw those words out there. But yeah, it looked like I was talking to some of the other interviews here and said if you went off track here, you kind of almost had to aim for the grass because that kitty litter was just glue to the tires.
Yep, it happened to me probably with I don't know, 6 minutes left of the race. I hit some and got stuck and I lost my chance for a podium. But yeah, once you hit that kitty litter, you're stuck, and you just gotta ease it out of there real slow.
Well, you get yourself a podium in the Pro Class, a top 5 overall, and I would think, considering everything you went through here tonight, it's got to feel damn near close to a win.
Oh, I mean, I'm terrible with the LMP2 if you look at all the other races this season, so I'll certainly take this. I'm very much looking forward to next season being back in a GT3. This car doesn't do it for me unless it's raining. For some reason, I do quite okay.
Yeah, there you go. You need a full rain season for you to get it done.
Yep.
All right, buddy. Well,
I'll talk to Jim about that.
Yeah, yeah. See how that works out. I can tell you might not want to talk to him right now since he finished dead last year tonight. But either way, before we let you go and get out of here tonight, who do you want to give a shout out to or thanks to?
Thanks to you guys, everyone here at CSRL, and all my teammates at Aerostar Racing.
All right, buddy. Well, congrats again on the top 5 overall, 3rd place here in the Pro Class, and biggest mover of the race. So let you go celebrate this one. Go dry off, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks, guys.
That is Tyler Torville up 16 spots here tonight to finish in the top 5 in his number 22 LMP2. That is going to do it for race number 1. I can promise you that our next race here later on tonight at Pit Road at Speedland Racing is going to be dry. It's going to be a fun one as well. And Jimmy, we got some fun paint schemes that are be coming up as well because I believe tonight is favorite band night at Nashville at the Music City. So looking forward to seeing some cool new paint schemes. Hopefully you're going to continue with us over there on the CRN for Pit Road Speedland Racing with for myself and Jimmy from a wet and wild Elkhart Lake. We'll see you at the track.
Peace.